Hello Avila Advantage Finance students. This is our final week. This week we'll have the final exam due and you have one last homework due relative to Chapter 16. I just want to say I've enjoyed the past 8 weeks we've had together. We've had a small cohort, but we've learned a lot in that time period. We've experienced a very good run in the markets, and something we discussed last week was just whether this would be sustainable. And there's some out there that are going to believe that this can continue into 2014. What we could also have potential hiccups in the sense that there could be another government shutdown or some other disaster may happen, but for at least right now it's encouraging. The markets are looking positive, but there should be a bit of a kind of caution, if you will, for the next year. But we'll see how the year finishes out here with about a month left to go. So all right, for the final week, just have the again, homework problems chapter 16 and also the exam. The exam is out there. There's 33 questions, so again, just give a one-page Word document with your responses back for the multiple choice question. Just label 1C, 2C, etc. Relative to chapter 16, this deals with international finance, and it's a brief chapter, but it touches on some important concepts. First, there are multinational enterprises out there today. A lot of American corporations invest overseas, either directly or indirectly. Foreign direct investment would be like setting up a plant in another country. It's kind of like the example of Toyota plant in Kentucky, or I see like the Kia plant that was sponsored by the SEC that's somewhere in Georgia. So international firms from overseas come here and we go overseas there. So some companies choose not to do the direct foreign investment. They may just actually do a partnership or export. But either way, a lot of times you have to deal with foreign exchange rates because most countries want to get paid in their own currency. Not always, but we have to think about, if I say do invest in Europe, I start a plant over in Europe and I get paid in euros, well, ultimately, I probably want to convert those euros back to American dollars, and I face some exchange risk. There also might be situations where I have to purchase something in a foreign currency, and I have to make sure that I pay that bill 6 months from now and have euros available. So I face some risk. And the first thing is, what is the exchange rate? And that's what this chapter discusses. And you can always find out, based on the spot market, what it's going for right now, and in a forward market, what somebody's willing to pay for it, say 3 months or 6 months down the road. And the financial manager has to be aware of that. Hey, I face some risk here, and what are some different ways that I can hedge this risk? Now, this chapter doesn't necessarily go into all the different ways. There are different ways such as options and futures and just doing money market swaps. But for this week, we just want to kind of understand what are the tools, or what are the understanding of the theory, and what a financial manager can do to try to protect themselves, or think about the rate of return that they will get. So with that, in this chapter, when you're reading through that, read it a little bit slower, but just kind of the concept shouldn't be that challenging. It's just more just understanding what are the different options out there, and that's a little bit of what this chapter is. It's more about definitions more than anything else. So and let's see if there's anything else I want to make sure to point out. Oh, it also talked about interest rate parity and purchasing power parity. This kind of deals a little bit more in the theory that if I could see that something was cheaper overseas, I could import it to the United States and sell it at a higher price to make a return. But eventually, if it holds out in theory that if somebody else should see that opportunity, and they may see this opportunity in the markets too with exchange rates, that really there should be like a law of one price. But going back to economics, there'd be differences in elasticity of demand and what somebody's willing to pay for something in one country versus another country. So it doesn't always hold true, and there's maybe some discrepancies in the theory. So, well, that's it for this week. I want to say I've enjoyed working with you all, but if you do have any questions, do email me. Otherwise, have a great weekend, and hopefully the Chiefs can get a win this day, and we'll talk to you online. Take care.